How many children do you want? Oh my gosh. How do you keep your libido healthy and active? What advice would you give someone on wanting to get a van to live out of? How can I lose weight? I'm eating under 1,000 calories, but no results. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Stella the Light, and today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. Pure CBD oil has been the first thing to hit my gut in the morning for the past year or so. I usually have it before or with my morning mug of Dandy Blend. I happened upon Premium Jane about 6 months ago while comparing ingredients with my old CBD and was so surprised to find the fillers and additives that were in my old one. Premium Jane uses only the cannabis plant in their CBD products instead of cheap refined oils and fillers. All of their lab testing is up on their website for the public to see, meaning you can trust their products are pure and potent. Some benefits I've experienced are heightened muscle recovery, deeper sleep, calmer mornings and days, and Premium Jane's CBD lotion has helped fade the scars I have from my removal better than any scar treatment I've used over the years. I've linked their website down in the description so you can check out their line of CBD products and find what suits your needs: tinctures, oils, topicals, or capsules. And make sure you use the code STELLA for 20% off your order. I am currently sitting in the van. Damon is out surfing, and I'm going to go over the questions that you guys asked on my Instagram Q&A. Some really great questions, really new and unique questions, which I always love. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to try to make them super quick again. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go over all of them, but we'll try. There's at least 100 here. So the first question, what's the difference of a plant-based diet and veganism? So a vegan itself is someone who doesn't use animals in food, products, no use or abuse of an animal. So that's kind of a belief system, and that's one that I follow and I have followed for the past 5 years. And then plant-based eating is the idea of whole foods eating. So earth to mouth is what I like to call it. And that's what I named my ebooks. Basically the idea of eating whole, unrefined plant foods. Whereas veganism, like I always use the example, and it's a very common example. Oreos are vegan. Oreos are not plant-based. They have refined oils and sugars and flours in them that make them processed foods. So some foods can be vegan but not healthy and plant-based. That is the main difference between veganism and being plant-based vegan. So both, you don't use or abuse animals. One is healthier than the other. I opt to be plant-based pretty much most of the time. Do you take supplements, for example, iron or B12? I take a B12 supplement. That's the only supplement I have ever taken being a vegan. Prior to going vegan, I had a low B12 level, so that's kind of why I started up on B12. And then I found, like vegans and non-vegans clearly need B12 because we just don't have that nutrient in our soil anymore. Aside from that, I don't take any. I think it's person to person, depending on your levels and things like that. Discuss it with your doctor. What advice would you give someone on wanting to get a van to live out of? Do it. Honestly, it has been really, really cool having this to travel in. We spent $0 this weekend on accommodations, but we spent a beautiful weekend in one of the most expensive towns that you can rent in, Canon Beach, and it's just amazing. I would say find a reliable one. Make sure you don't buy like a piece of crap van that isn't going to be reliable, because you will be driving a lot, if you plan on driving a lot at least. What else? That's it. I mean, honestly, you could just put a mattress in the back and call it a day, or you could build a bed like we did. Storage is important. And that's it. I say go for it though. How do you keep your libido healthy and active? That's a big struggle here. So I think libido has a lot to do with several different things going on in your life. It could be mental health, something with your mental health is going on, in which I don't think that it's terrible if you have a couple of bad days where you're like not into it and you're like whatever. That happens for sure to everybody, and it's completely normal because the body can only put energy into a certain section. So if you're mentally stressed, it won't have enough energy to give to that drive, and it's also, of course, links up with the mental health thing. If you are stressed out and anxious and depressed, your mood won't be, towards that. Now, if it has to do with your health, like your hormone levels or under eating, so your hormone levels are off, that's another big thing. A lot of people under eating or dieting or restricting or in an active eating disorder will have a lower libido just because they are not eating enough. So that is two of the big things: your mental health and, you know, overall general health and well-being, and eating enough of the right foods. Have you ever lost a significant other unexpectedly? What are your thoughts on young death? So this question is a little bit confusing for me, but have you ever lost a significant other unexpectedly? I have. The first time that I was in rehab for my drug addiction, I was dating someone. Now, the relationship itself was based off of drugs, and it was not a healthy relationship. Did I have love for that person? Of course I did. Did they have love for me? Of course they did. But he passed away while I was in rehab, and I was not able to leave to go to his funeral or anything like that. It was such a weird and confusing time for me. I was a mess, and it was really weird. It was such a strange, weird thing, but I think it was a big smack in the face for me during my first day in rehab of like, whoa, like, we're dying. Like, I was there doing the same things they were doing with them just a few weeks prior, so just, it was very mind-blowing. So I think the circumstances are different. Again, I think young death is sad no matter if it's from drugs or if it's from disease or suicide or anything. I think it's sad, and it's a problem. I think it's an epidemic. How do you handle big and small family dinners where no one else is plant-based? So I just cook food. I cook my own food and I bring it with me. None of my family is really that weird about it. I've been plant-based vegan for 5 years now, and in the beginning, yes, it is a little bit awkward and it's hard to explain yourself and it's hard to justify why you're doing what you're doing, but with time and consistency, being around your family and close friends, they'll see that you're thriving and healthy and happy, and they'll either wish that they were eating that way, or if they are making any rude comments, it honestly has nothing to do with you. You laugh it off, you change the subject, and you are so happy and content in your lifestyle that you really don't care that they're sort of making fun of you. So I usually cook a big meal and then a dessert to bring with, whether it's Christmas or Thanksgiving or a birthday party or something like that. Do you tan naturally or do you use tanners? You always have great color. Thank you. I spend so much time outside, and that's why I do use sunblock, but I think my skin just gets tan just on its own, just from being outside so much. I do not use any tanners. What does your boyfriend do for work? So Damon has a family business. It's a contracting business, and that's what he does for his career. Do you want to have kids? Yes. Any plans in the near future? Maybe yes, maybe not. I don't know yet. If so, would you include pregnant YouTube channel, Thriving Plant-Based? Yeah, I would just continue to live the same lifestyle and do the same thing that I'm doing now. So I would put out YouTube videos and what I eat and recipes and how I'm feeling. It would be a new experience for me, of course, like being pregnant in general. So it would be just a lot of new fun things to show you guys. What do you do/eat to become lean? Definitely just eating a whole foods, plant-based vegan lifestyle alongside staying active, which is easy for most people who eat the right amount of foods and the right types of foods when they're plant-based vegan, because you naturally just become super energetic and you want to move and do fun new things. Yoga or running? That's a really hard one. I would definitely say yoga though. I mean, running's fun and all, but yoga's like my thing. Yoga for life. I don't know if I'll run for life, but I will definitely be doing yoga for a really, really long time. Do you ever worry about not having lived to your max potential? I do not, because I finally come to realize that life is really, really good just as it is, whether I'm doing a bajillion crazy fun things or whether I'm just living a normal, average, everyday life. I have a wonderful time either way, because I'm filling my days with really good people, really good food, and really good practices like mental health practices and fitness practices and things like that. So I think that I've come to realize that my max potential is just being healthy and happy. Like, to me, that is the max potential. How do you get that peaceful? I honestly think that on the surface, maybe I do come off as a very peaceful person, and I am 1,000 times more peaceful than I've ever been in my entire life. But I'm still a mess sometimes, a lot of the times actually. I come from a background of really heavy anxiety and OCD, which I still cope and deal with every single day of my life, and it is freaking hard, but it's okay. I'm okay. And I think that's why, because I've been able to build up these habits and eating habits that help me so much, that everything just is a lot lighter and I feel a lot more peaceful. How many children do you want? Oh my gosh. Right now I say like 6, but ask me after I have 1 or 2 and then we'll see. How often do you go grocery shopping? I find my groceries spoiling a lot. Well, we eat a lot of food and we know exactly kind of like what we need and what we'll eat, and I always make sure to use up my food. I don't let my food spoil, simply because I don't waste food. It's been like a habit that I picked up along the way of being a vegan, being plant-based. You just come to realize that you don't want to waste anything, especially not food, because plant foods become so precious to you. So we probably grocery shop for fresh produce 1 time a week, and then the bulk stuff probably once every 2 to 3 weeks. Do you have a grocery budget? So we don't have a grocery budget because we really don't spend that much on food, and the things that we buy are very, very cheap. We do have a kind of policy of not buying too many junk food items for our health, as well as they are more pricey than, whole plant foods. So, we will buy some prepackaged items, but not a lot. And if we kind of see that we're like buying more and more each week, or like we get into this weird habit where we're continuously picking up too much prepackaged expensive junk food items, we kind of say like, hey, like let's not get this time. Like one person or the other, usually me, will like reel us back in and be like, hey, like let's put that back, and maybe we'll get it again next week or the week after that. It helps just keep you in tune with plant-based eating, and it's very, very easy, especially while traveling, to just pick up junk food items all the time. So we don't really do a lot of junk food. Like the most junk food that we'll do is like some vegan ice cream, pretzels, or chips. That's pretty much it. We don't do any other really vegan junk foods for the most part. Do you journal or write down future and weekly goals or lists? I do not journal, but me and Damon do have a journal together that we journal back and forth every couple weeks. We just write like a letter to each other. It's like this little sweet love letter thing. It's super sappy. I don't journal, and I want to journal, and it feels really good to journal when I do, but it's not a habit that I've ever been able to keep up with. I'm not sure why. I don't know why. I think it would be really beneficial. And I do write tons of lists. I'm a list person, like so hard. I write at least 3 lists a day. I have a few list apps in my phone, as well as a list app on my Mac, that I just keep everything work and personal related organized. That's my thing. I like doing it that way. It works for me. I like to get things out of my head because I always feel very jumbled up there, but putting them on paper feels really good. Is walking enough exercise for a nice toned body? I think walking is a perfect place to start, but I think you have to get your food intake on point, and then you won't just want to walk. So if you only want to walk, you probably have to like walk a lot and maybe start implementing some hills, but the very first thing that you should do is start eating right. When you eat right, your body will crave more and more movement. You will want to get sweaty, you will want to move your body, do fun new things, whether that's like playing basketball or swimming or hiking or jogging or Pilates, yoga, whatever it is. You'll want to do more than just like go for a leisurely walk. You could start walking hills, you could rollerblade. There's so many different things that you could do, but again, the very first thing for you to do to get your body right is to start eating correctly. Do you and the hubs ever argue? And if yes, how do you settle it? So me and Damon don't really argue that much, and if we do argue, it's usually over something super silly. I think Damon and I are both... What's your opinion on hormonal birth control? I am against hormonal birth control, but I think that it is a very personal choice, and I think that you need to talk to your doctor, do your research, and just tune into yourself and what you believe in and what you think is right for you. I think there are many other options outside of hormonal birth controls, and they do work, and it might be a little bit more work for you and for your partner, but it is 150% worth it, because then you don't have to put crazy inside your body that isn't necessary. How do I know I'm getting enough protein on the plant-based diet? I probably get anywhere from 50 to 80 plus grams a day just from plant foods. That's it. And the most important thing is just eating enough and eating a variety. As long as you're doing that, eating enough food and eating enough variety, you will 100% get enough protein and you don't need to worry about it. I promise you that. So just making sure you're eating from all of the food groups, eating in abundance, a variety, enough, and you're set. How can I lose weight? I'm eating under 1,000 calories, but no results. So it sounds like you're just putting your body into a complete fear mode. Under 1,000 calories, a 4-year-old needs 1,400 calories, a sedentary 4-year-old. So a 4-year-old that doesn't play and move around, one that like sits around all day, which I don't know any 4-year-old who does that. But anyways, you are not eating enough 100%, and this will cause your body to go into a mode where it shuts down other functions of the body to accommodate your under eating. So it slows everything down. It slows digestion down, it slows your hormones down, it slows your brain function down, makes you want to sleep more, not move as much. So essentially you are harming yourself into your body. It raises all types of weird chemicals and levels in your body to make you hold on to fat because your body is in a fear mode, restriction mode. It thinks that you're starving it because essentially you are starving it. So once you give it access to abundant food and abundant calories, it revs things back up, and your thyroid and your metabolism, everything will rev right back up as long as you're feeding yourself enough. You need to nourish that metabolism and nourish your body to make sure that everything's functioning properly. And then that way your body will start burning efficiently and you'll be on the right track. Alright guys, I really hope you loved that video. I am going to get changed and go walk on the beach for a while and see if I can see Damon surfing. And then we're gonna head back home, I think, later today. Alright, I love you guys. I hope you loved this video. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments or just leave me a comment because I love it when you guys comment on my videos. Of course, give the video a thumbs up if you can and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you for the next video.